I've never had a copywriter reach out and say, hey, you don't have an
The chat's going wild.
I can tell you, I get a lot of outreach from copywriters, varying skill sets and experience levels. And what I could tell you is if somebody did reach out and they in like 4 words could highlight that they have already solved a problem that I currently have that I either was not aware of or that I'm now aware of thanks to them, I would be impressed enough to keep paying attention. I'll leave it at that.
And it's going to be a little bit unique for everybody. I think you have the right idea here, Alex, that you want to come and lead with value. And again, Lucas's presentation here, if you watch all of the Copy Squad things, the vocabulary you'll build when you ask questions, you'll use such a vocabulary that if it's someone who's not like, yes, you could go to the big publishers and probably get your shoe in the door and work your way up. But if you're looking for like a client you want to partner up with or something, and they don't really have marketing savvy to that degree, and you start saying things like, hey, how many campaigns do you have for this front end? Or do you have automations already built? Those are questions that will catch somebody like a deer in headlights. The fuck is an automation? Like, how many automations have you built? Do you have your abandoned carts locked in? Like these kinds of questions. If you watch the Copy Squad trainings, now you can add questions like, whenever you're I saw your upsell. I'm really curious because it's only $20. It's probably got a really low AOV contribution. Have you measured that?
For email sequence?
Yeah. When you ask these questions, hey, I actually just bought this, or I was checking out and then I forgot to buy it, and I just realized I was never hit with an abandoned cart. Do you not have an abandoned cart sequence? Like when you start asking, you bringing value because like Lucas just mentioned, you've made them aware of a problem they didn't know they had. So
you know what? That one right there, specifically abandoned cart, just to get real specific for half a second here, specifically abandoned cart, that's something you can identify for free. You can figure out if they have an abandoned cart or not, because you can start the checkout process or you can go to the checkout page. And if you don't get an email somewhere saying, hey, did you want to buy this? That's something right up front. You could potentially even write that email sequence for free and say, hey, I noticed you don't have an abandoned cart sequence in place. I wanted to go ahead and just see if I could help you right up front, add value in advance. Here's an abandoned cart sequence for this offer for you. Hey, listen, I know this will add dollars to your sales every single month if you add this in place. And what I'd like to do is to figure out more ways I can add dollars into your business every single month. Would you be open to a conversation about that?
That's amazing. The chat's going wild.
We just created a whole new cold outreach thing, Kyle.
I know. That's the thing. Like it's really like everyone's looking. It's tough because I tell them like look at strategy, get immersed in the language of copy, get immersed in the fields, and you'll sort of you'll ask the right questions. You'll walk with the right walk. You'll talk with the right talk, and people will recognize that and respect the authority that you bring. If you bring, like Lucas gets all these emails, he can probably tell you what school or course each template comes from because he gets the same templates over and over and over. And I get them too. And when I got one on Facebook, like, could you handle 10 more clients in your business? I got that yesterday. And I always just be like, I'm all set, brother. Thanks so much. Like I always try not to be rude because I know what they're going through. It's the same, it's what people in my group are trying to do too. But I know the template. I was wondering, like, did he get this from Jordan Platten? Like I know where that template originates or the schools or places that passes around. So it's like to stand out and have a little bit more of authority.
There's a saying, if it's a known tactic, it's a blown tactic. If it's a known tactic, it's a blown tactic. And so if you are marketing or selling to people in a way that other people that sell the same type of stuff that you sell are marketing or selling, then it's blown. And if it's blown, it ain't worth it for you to spend your hard time and effort doing, frankly, in my particular view. So what I just described to you, I've never had a copywriter reach out and say, hey, you don't have an abandoned cart on this. Here's an abandoned cart sequence. This is how I can add dollars to your business right now. Would you like to have a conversation about how I can add more? So if I got that from a copywriter, I'd be paying a lot more attention.